Good morning, sweethearts. How y'all doing? You feel the magic? I'll always ask you if you feel the magic. How are y'all doing? In every moment, we are graced. We are graced with each other. The human aspect of us really cannot comprehend the unity of all of us in an interconnected way. I woke up this morning to a most beautiful, beautiful message. John Blackwell and Don O'Sullivan, I love you guys. You know, they are so beautiful. They have been working with me through the tooth infection, which dealt with Linda's own rejection, and then of course with this pancreatic cancer. Good morning, Jenny. Good morning, Tammy. Big hugs and blessings, beautiful. And come on, Tony. Don't just look at me. Come on. Get up here. Come on. And Tony loves to cuddle. Say good morning. Say good morning. And he'll sit there and he'll wiggle. If I stop touching him, he'll sit there and he'll keep wiggling until I pay attention to him. Good morning, Lorraine. Good morning, David. Good morning, sweethearts. And so, no, Tony, that's enough now. Come on, you're laying next to me already. And so, my hair's falling out. And so, the human aspect of us does not truly understand how interconnected we all are. And whether we can understand it, or, you know, whether you're on your spiritual journey or you're not. Good morning, Jen. Good morning, Tammy. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Dylan. How you all doing? Did I say that right, or is it Dylan? Big hugs and blessings, sweethearts. And so, as you go about your day, sweet ones, good morning, Astro. Big hugs and blessings, sweet ones. Really allow yourself to really feel into the universe. Feel into the energies that are being presented. As challenging as these energies can seem at times, sweethearts, they are designed to bring you out of your comfort zones. And if you stay in relationships, because, you know, and everything is in a relationship. The human aspect just has a tendency to put it more into a romanticized aspect, if you will. And good morning, Daisy. How you doing, beautiful? Big hugs and blessings. And right now, there is nothing romantic about these energies, if you will, and yet there's everything romantic about these energies. And to come to really step into that uncomfortableness, that vulnerability of the unknown, of the unseen, of the unheard, is a challenge to the human side of us. And Spirit is pushing us to get out of our comfort, get out of what is familiar. Whether that is, again, leaving a job, leaving a relationship, whatever it may be, the human side does not want to step out of that familiarity. How often, good morning, Helena, how often, if you observe, especially those on the spiritual journey, how often has it been presented for you to no longer, how do I say this, to no longer stay or be in that space, it becomes to a point that even the most comfortable and familiar circumstances become uncomfortable. And how often do you stay in those spaces of familiarity and comfortable even when they become uncomfortable? It's easy to tolerate that which we no longer resonate with if it is being presented in something that has made us comfortable and familiar for so long. If you observe, how many of us have stayed in relationships for the kids' sake? Or we try to make it work because we don't want to fail. That we put up with the, if you're in an abusive relationship, you put, whether that is physical, mental, emotional, whichever it may be. How often, if you go back and you observe, whether it is in a romantic relationship, whether it is a relationship with our children, whether or not it was a relationship with our parents, how often did we just settle for all of that? I don't like to use the word abuse. Even though it is abuse, we need to change the energy and the words behind it, and I'll figure out another word to use in place of that. Or maybe I'll create one. I like to do that. But we find ourselves tolerating and putting up with and ignoring. And this is something that is very prevalent for especially those of us that's on a spiritual journey. We put up with and convince ourselves that it's the right thing to do, that putting up with the negativity, putting up with the beliefs, putting up with all of it is just meant for us to put up with it. And that is the farthest thing from the truth. We aren't here to put up with anything. We're here to feel into the interconnectedness of all and to return to that. And, you know, these energies are pushing us into that uncomfortableness, to push us out of that which we have tolerated, to push us forward into and out into something more. The universe is pushing us, whether we want to or not, to put us on our right path. And if you allow yourselves to stay in those comfortable and familiar spaces, if you will, in relationships, they will get more chaotic. They will get more turbulent. And for lack of a better way of saying this, and I've said this many times, these energies are like a straitjacket. And the strings have been tightened as tight as they can go. And so that didn't work. So now the universe has put on a smaller straitjacket and is tightening those. Everything will be squeezed out of you. And what isn't squeezed out of you that you keep keeping inside, the outside world will be squeezed tighter in you, if you will, until you decide the straitjacket just isn't for you anymore. And you will come to a space, and you are coming into those spaces where it is more comfortable, if you will, to get out of what you thought used to be comfortable. When we do not take those steps, when we do not take those actions that Spirit has guided us to relocate, to leave that job, to leave that relationship, whatever it may be, and we just hold off for whatever reason. And maybe it's insecurity, maybe it's circumstances, whatever it may be, but Spirit is pushing you. Absolutely, Adela. Adela says the straitjacket was too tight and suffocating. That's what I felt. Exactly. What was comfortable and familiar is becoming suffocating. That's a great word. Thank you, Adela. And when we are faced with that is even because we have not stepped into that guidance from Spirit. We have not followed that. Like Adela says, it gets suffocating. And that's where we are at right now. Because all of us, in one way or another, whether we want to admit it to ourselves or not, have, even those of us on this spiritual journey, we have not followed Spirit's guidance in every moment because fear overtakes us. The human aspect has to rise to that. And right now, you're risen. You're evolved. And right now, all that you didn't heed from Spirit, Spirit is making your circumstances suffocating to where you are being left with no choice but to hear Spirit, but to follow Spirit, but to surrender to Spirit. And that's uncomfortable. But the only reason, and I'm going to use that word specifically, reason, because, to the human mind, that's all it cares about is reason, logic. And the only reason we are staying in what's familiar is because you're giving your power away to your fear. And love just is, sweet ones. It's, when you can take away the familiarity, when you can take away the fear, the uncomfortableness, the comfortableness, when you can take away all of it, that fear becomes your greatest love story. That fear becomes your lover. It becomes the ecstasy. And it becomes your addiction in a good way. When you can make love to your fear, make love to the uncomfortableness, and I'm not saying that in a sexual content. The human aspect has to tie everything into sex in one way or another. And the purpose for that, notice I didn't say reason. The purpose of that is because Spirit is all inclusive. And the human aspect of us is seclusive, if you will. And the human aspect wants to be the center of attention in every way. But the spiritual side of us knows that, good morning, Barack. Good morning, Annette. Excuse me. But our spirit side knows, without a shadow of a doubt, that there is no seclusion, if you will, seclusiveness. We speak of being androgynous, both female and male. And yet we're incarnated into one or the other. And what attracts us in the human aspect of things, what attracts us to another, we have been taught to believe that it's a sexual... Give me the right words here, Michael, please. Thank you. No, I must not have been supposed to say that because I lost my train of thought. The human side of us wants to be king of the castle, wants to be queen of the castle. The spirit side of us just wants us to dance as both. And English courses, good morning. Big hugs and blessings to you. However, if you would like a striptease show, I encourage you to maybe go to another website that specializes in that, sweetheart. Big hugs and blessings to you. As we go through these energies, sweet ones, today you are being asked to really allow yourself to become all-inclusive instead of seclusive. Instead of having to be the one, to become the one. To become the three. To become the Trinity within one. You're being asked to come into unity through community. You are being asked to reach out and connect, to get out into the public's eye, to step into being all that you are with no longer being ashamed of it, with no longer having to hide, no longer pretending in your relationships that you have allowed yourself to stay in because it's comfortable and familiar, or because the kids, you have to stay there for the kids' sake, or it's the proper thing to do because the Bible states that you have to stay married to the same person. There is so many misconceptual beliefs, and when you can step into those, what you have come to know as your truth from the human side of it, and allow yourself to really observe why, where, how it is that you feel you have to stay in what is comfortable and familiar, even though it has become uncomfortable. The human aspect has a tendency to shut out, to tune out, to deny, to in the circumstances that we have become, relationships that we become familiar and comfortable in. We have a tendency to tune out, ignore, shut out, walk away from, instead of dealing with it. We just tune it out, even though it's become so unbearable and so uncomfortable that it's easier just to tune it out. Well, she's just stupid and she's just going off on, so I'm just going to let her rant and rave and I'm just going to shut her out and I'm not going to deal with it. Or she gets on the phone and starts crying to her friends and stuff because he won't talk to her, or he is so mean. And, you know, the human aspect will attach to anything in order to stop itself from taking responsibility and actually stepping out of that which is all they have known. You know, I grew up in Montana in a little town called Havre, 40 miles from the Canadian border. And in 1988, I went to Phoenix. My oldest was 4 months old, and we had moved to Phoenix. Well, I only lasted in Phoenix like 7-8 months, you know. I was young. I was 19, married, you know, with a kid, and that was just too, I don't know, going from a town of 6,000 people to a city of, I don't know, 1 million or more was just too much. And I ended up we ended up moving back to Montana. Well, then, the next time that I was really ever outside of Montana was in 94 when I drove my dad back east. My dad is an Easterner. And after that, the next time I left was in 2009 when I came out to Maryland to have surgery on my foot. And I had butterflied the biggest bone in the foot, which is not that big of a bone, and I was in a cast laid up for 3 years. And, you know, I was with my sister, and we were at the store, and I'd held the door open and for this elderly couple. And they chewed my ass out for that. That little old lady, I mean, she just came at me. What, you don't think I can do it my own because I'm black? You think that I need you to hold the door open? And I mean, I'd never run into anything like that. I was shocked. And my sister was like, you can't do that, Linda. This isn't like Montana where, you know, everybody walks down the street and waves to each other whether they know each other physically or not, you know. This isn't back home in the, you know, in the hokiness of what we grew up in. And people aren't like that in the cities, Linda. You can't extend that grace. You can't extend that, you know, you can't just talk to strangers, you'll get killed. Right? And me being myself, who I am, I wasn't even on my spiritual journey at that point, at least not consciously of it anyways. And for me, I couldn't comprehend that. I didn't understand that. Because, again, I grew up in the country. You know? We're called rednecks. And when you allow yourself to step into that which is unfamiliar, and, you know, even here in Texas, the North is so different from the South. The East Coast is so much different than the West Coast. And yet, it's those differences that bring us together, sweethearts. And absolutely, Adela. Adela says exactly what I'm talking about. I shut it out till I felt suffocated, yes. Because we have a tendency to, when we step out into what's uncomfortable and unfamiliar, we have a tendency to run right back to what is comfortable and familiar. You know, and I have to tell you, Spirit has guided me here to Texas 4 times. I've said that many times already. I'm not a fan of Texas. The energy here is suffocatingly of lower vibration. I get why I'm here. I am in full understanding, within, without, and all around, from the past all the way back, spiritually and energetically, how Texas connects us, if you will, to the ancient past. I get it. And again, I will say this. follow your spirit, regardless if it's uncomfortable. Will I stay in Texas? Absolutely not. I'm not sure how long I'll be here, but I can breathe better in the mountains, in the higher elevations, because the air is thinner. And but we have to stay. No, we don't. Let me restate that. Clear, cancel, and delete that. We have to experience what is uncomfortable. And the more you can step into what is uncomfortable, you will find a freedom you have never known. And even though it may seem fearful, sweethearts, it's better than suffocating. That fear may suffocate you. When you step into the unknown, that fear may suffocate you for a few moments, you know, but it's not going to suffocate you for long periods of time like it is staying in that relationship, staying in that marriage for the kids' sake, or financially it's more beneficial because we have been enslaved in a monetary system of not making it. And when you can allow yourself to step into the fear of walking away from that job without the fear of suffocating you of how am I going to pay my bills, how am I going to pay my rent, yada yada yada. When you surrender to spirit and say, I turn my cares and worries over to you, I surrender them, now you figure out the how. When you allow yourself to take that chance, to take that step, sweethearts, you will find that as long as you take it, regardless, that everything will fall into place. So as these energies come in today is a beautiful day. I mean, it's 7/12. 7 plus 1 plus 2 is 10. 2017 is a 1 year. You know, 10 plus 1 is what? 11. The gateway to heaven. So really allow the magic of today to feel into all of those spaces of fear within you, and allow it, that magic, to give you a magic carpet to ride, and get on that and let it take you to new heights. Let it take you to new spaces of glory, even though at first they may seem fearful. There you go, Lorraine. Shine on, beautiful. Soak up that sun. Let it feed your light body. Let it energize you. Allow the magic today, sweet ones, of these energies to really propel you forward, regardless if it seems fearful or uncomfortable. Give yourself the miracle of life. Life isn't meant to exist, sweet ones. It wasn't meant for you to sit in what has become familiar and comfortable for your human. As you silently suffer within and suffocate yourself. Because it's the right thing to do. No, it's not the right thing to do. the right thing to do is to follow your heart. Your heart will never suffocate you. Your spirit will never suffocate you. Oh, it'll put a straitjacket on to assist you in suffocating yourself until you decide to say no more. But spirit don't suffocate you. You suffocate yourself. Because you don't follow your heart. You don't follow that which Twitter pates it. And so, sweethearts, if you find yourself in a space of being uncomfortable, of feeling suffocated, of being very fearful, again, your natural state of being is in unity. It's all interconnected. And I can guarantee you, yep, I said it, I can guarantee you, from the human aspect, I can guarantee you, and from the spiritual aspect, I can tell you it's an absolute truth, because the only absolute truth in the world is peace. That's the absolute truth of spirit, is peace. And I can tell you with absolute truth that spirit wants you to live. Spirit did not put you into this place called Earth, on this planet, on this magical playground, to be stagnant, to slowly suffocate you. Spirit did not put you on this playground for you to hide. Spirit did not put you on this playground for you to suffer. You agreed, and Spirit put you here on this playground for you to experience life, for you to experience love in all its glory, in every way, shape, form, and aspect. So if you find yourself, sweethearts, just existing, just surviving, ask yourself where you're still staying in something that's comfortable and familiar, even though it's suffocating, because it has been deemed the right thing to do, or because you don't feel you have the financial, monetary aspect of it to support yourself, that you have to be with somebody because that's the only way you can make ends meet. That's why you stay in a relationship. Spirit, you're not here just to exist, just to dwell and do nothing. You're here to experience life and live. Ask yourself what living means for you. Is it just sitting here twiddling your thumbs, watching the days go by, doing nothing? As you silently suffer within and suffocate within? Allow yourselves to live, sweet ones. Feel the magic into this, of these energies, and allow yourselves to let them guide you into living again, to become alive, because it'll set you free. And you deserve to be free. You deserve to be happy. And you are worthy of it. You are worthy of this dance in every way. And we need you as a community, as all that we are. We need you to step out and start living with us, to start communing with us, to come together with us. You are inside my mind. Everything you say is my life, but I'm free. God will provide. Oh, Adela, come visit me. I got 2 guest rooms. What's needed, Linda? You were with me last night, holding me in peace, loving, accepting that I am love. I can't see the rest of it. It won't let me see it. I love you, sweet ones. I do. I love you. Come, feel free. Let's have a party. Come visit. I got a big yard. Bring your tents, sweethearts. Let's come together and have, let's make a party of this. I got a big front yard, and I got a great big back fenced yard, and I got 2 guest bedrooms. I got floor, Come on, bring your sleeping bags and your tents. Let's make a party out of this, sweet ones. Let's come together. As my beautiful Angel Lavelle and Corey Marshall and Amon, let's build. A wee one can carry your cases. Come on, y'all. You're more than welcome. Let's have a party. Come visit. Let's rock this world and let's light up this state. Texas needs all the light it can get. That's why so many of us are here and being guided to here. To anchor in that light. But allow yourselves to... Well, there you go, Adela. That's confirmation for you. There you go. Isn't it amazing how we are all interconnected? I was just thinking that last night, and you just confirmed it. Or I was just talking about this, and you confirmed it. Donna did that for me today. Donna O'Sullivan and John Blackwell, I love you. David Chase, I really love you. But, serious, I love all of you guys. Can we dance? Oh, hell yeah, come on. Texas is all about music and dancing. And me, I dance all the time. I dance. I put the music on. I dance as I mop the floor. I dance as I do dishes. I dance as I'm always dancing. I'm always dancing. Sweethearts, feel the magic. Step right into your fears, and allow yourselves to soar. I need some coffee. You Twitter paint my heart. And David Chase, you can come dance with us. There might be a few too many goddesses. I don't know if you can handle all that feminine energy, but come dance with us. So all of you out there, have a beautiful day, sweethearts. And come together in unity. Let's dance. Well, I'm a-coming. Come on, Adela. Lorraine, David, all of you guys, come on. Texas has the music. It just needs to dance. Have a beautiful day, sweethearts. I love you. I'm holding you in eternal peace, grace, love, blessings, magic. Let's rock this earth ship. Have a great day. Big hugs and blessings, sweethearts. Bye-bye now.